Welcome
Hey,
back.
Adriana. Thanks.
So today we're gonna look at how our goal is going and how the use of technology is being used during this time, and what do you think about the tool and things like that?
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So let me first show you the planning form,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna ask you some questions.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, my planning form. Okay, so this is the next steps planning form.
Okay.
And as you can see, our goal kind of changed due to what happened. So our goal, we kind of said, was create more engagement and a way to connect students during this time outside the classroom by the use of technology, and the tool is Seesaw.
Correct.
Yeah?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So as we continue and as I see, the use of the tool with you, we're going to talk about your progress, what our next actions would be, when you would want to meet for that, and then how committed are you to the goal.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to start with asking you, what's the most important thing that you want to make sure that we hit today?
I think the most important thing is, since we've been working with Seesaw, this will be the first time since we've been out of school that I'll be able to post a video of myself teaching a lesson, a mini lesson, and the kids can actually do the work on Seesaw. So I think the most important for me is being able to give them that instruction away from school and then having them turn it back in and me being able to give them feedback, because up to this point, it's all been like packets and paperwork that I'm not getting back. So I think that's the most important, is like being able to still keep that instructional piece through Seesaw and to get some of that work back so that I can provide them with feedback that they need.
Right. And as you've been learning about Seesaw and maybe using some videos and PD, what has gone well for you that you're seeing more through Seesaw?
So this is the first time I've ever used anything like that. I've never used Seesaw before. So I think really just playing around with it and learning from you, like the different ways to add activities. And I found that you can, like you said, add activities that other people have created. And then being able to record myself teaching something and add that video has been huge. So that way we can give them some instructional piece from us. So I think those have been like some of the most important things I've learned through Seesaw thus far.
Perfect. So do you want to show me what you've been learning and kind of show me like step by step, and then we'll talk about it after?
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
We're back. Okay, I am going to share my screen.
Okay.
Let me just pull up my Seesaw here. Okay, you can see that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in my Seesaw. And what I've already done thus far is I've made a mini lesson video for my advanced math class that I teach. I use Screencast-O-Matic and PowerPoint and talked over it. And so what I'm hoping to do is see how to put that in as an assignment with the video, and then with the worksheet that I want them to complete attached to the assignment.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on adding that. So I'm going to assign an activity to my class. I'm going to look in my library. So for now, I'm just going to name it for myself. And what I am working on is okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and add the video that I have created.
Have you found it pretty simple to use?
Yeah, super. Once I like spent the first few times like just trying it out and working through it, and now it seems like pretty easy. I love Seesaw. It's like it's saved everything. It's huge.
Yeah.
This is huge for us right now. So here's the video that I created.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna add that video and it's down here attached. Do you want me to type out the instructions now?
Sure. I mean, like you can pick simple instructions.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna say to my class to watch the attached video. And then I'm gonna say to complete the attached assignment and then tell them to submit their work.
Perfect.
Okay, so now I want to attach, I have a video attached that they're going to watch first. And then I want to add a template for them, for the worksheet for them to write on, which I have saved. I got it from the McGraw-Hill workbook that we've been working through online, obviously. So let me just pull that up.
Do you think, since the first time we met, do you think you've made progress towards using this tool to help your class and stuff? Do you think that you've learned a lot?
Absolutely, because I remember when we first started this, I, for the first time, had logged on to Seesaw, and I was just like a little overwhelmed at first just because it was an application I'd never used. And now, I mean, going forward, I'm going to use this for all of my lesson plans and activities going forward for ELA and math, because it's just such an easy way for the parents to help their children. They can watch the video of me teaching and then they can work on the activity and then submit it back to me, and then I can provide them with feedback that they need if they're missing a part or they're, you know, working on something incorrectly. So I feel very comfortable with Seesaw now.
Perfect.
Thanks to you. So, okay, I've got my video, I've got my template attached. I'm gonna save it to my library.
Oh, perfect.
And here it is.
Awesome. And then you'll be able to assign that to your students.
Yeah, I'm gonna, next week is spring break, but the week after it'll be the first assignment that they do back.
Awesome. Do you think, are there any like roadblocks that you're running into on Seesaw, or do you think, you know, you're able to manage that by making sure like you attend PDs or asking questions?
I'm thinking, up to this point, we've done a great job. You've done awesome. I understand how to assign everything, because obviously a student hasn't turned anything in yet, because we have spring break next week. When that comes up, I was thinking maybe I could do a PD on the next steps, like, or maybe about once they submit work, like what's the best way for me to see it and respond to it and provide that feedback.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think, do you want to keep using this tool, this strategy for engagement, as you see it, as you're using it now? Do you think that's a good goal to keep, but we can also add to it next steps?
Yeah, I think that's a great goal, because especially for the engagement, I know our original goal has kind of changed, but that's kind of been the similar theme, is to help the students stay engaged. And so I want them to be engaged even though they're at home. So I think that's still a great goal to keep.
Right. Do you think we could like maybe use Seesaw, continue using Seesaw, and then looking at a goal for feedback for the kids and seeing that engagement level? Like, I know that through Seesaw you can make comments. So do you think you could use that as your like next steps?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, because next step, now that I understand how to assign work and input my videos and worksheets for activities, I think the next step would be to get their worksheets and figure out how to provide them with the best type of feedback. Like, is it going to be a grade, or is it going to be me, like, you know, writing on the back to them so that they can see maybe what they've done well or what they've done incorrectly. So I think feedback is probably going to be the next step for me to kind of figure out how to go from there.
Right, and we could even do like a small rubric or something together
Yeah,
for like reading assignments. So then that way we
yeah,
can provide them like the best feedback together.
right.
So as we continue, and we're gonna keep working together anyway. What do you
Good.
think? What do you think? What task do you think we should focus on before we meet again? Like maybe after spring break, we can focus on like after they turn in work, feedback forms and things.
Yeah, so let's meet again maybe once the first task goes out,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can see what I get back, kind of play around with it, and then we can link up and meet and figure out how to provide the feedback and what like the best way is to provide the feedback for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably meet after spring break once I get some of that work back,
Okay.
and then figure out kind of where to go from there with the work that I did get back.
Okay, so I'll kind of say that our next steps, our next goal is to provide effective feedback for that engagement piece through Seesaw, and then we can meet again and see how that's going. So how committed do you feel to this goal? Do you think it's something that you could do possibly during this time?
Yeah, this is huge because I just really wanted to find the best way to do this digital learning from home,
Right.
because obviously, it's not going to be as great as being in the classroom every day, but I didn't want my students to feel like they were kind of just being left and there was no instruction for me, or, videos of me teaching still, with attached assignments. So yeah, I feel like this has been huge. I'm very committed to it because I obviously want to do what's best for my students.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to continue to use this for sure.
Perfect. Well, I'm happy that you're enjoying Seesaw, and I'm excited to help you give them the proper feedback that they need.
Yeah, thanks. I looked through my checklist today that you sent me,
Mm-hmm.
of the 5 things that I need to make sure I'm including in the Seesaw activity. So that checklist was a big help too, just to make sure like I was hitting the standards and using my keywords and things like that. So that was great too.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear. Well, I really have enjoyed working with you, Courtney. Thank you so much, and we'll just continue.
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you so much, because this learning about Seesaw, it's just been awesome, and I'm really excited to use it. So we'll see how it goes.
Perfect. Yay. Okay, we'll talk soon.
All right, bye, Adriana.
Bye.